Alexa Grasso, rightfully so, did open up as a minus 115 favorite, but it was basically pick 'em odds right here. We take a look at the current line, minus 140, plus 120 comeback for Shevchenko. Thoughts on the line?
Interesting, man. It's still not as much of a line move as the fight we were talking about previously, but to me, it tells me that Shevchenko still has a lot of respect in the eyes of the bettors out there, and rightfully so too, right? Not even arguably, Shevchenko has the tools to get the job done. We saw her put some work in, especially in the control aspect in their last fight. If this one comes down to the judges, who knows? But I do think Shevchenko has some new ammo, right? to not make a pun on the bullet, but she has some new ammo in that belt.
Hot take. Alexa Grasso, in one of her pre-fight interviews, did say that Valentina Shevchenko's style is too tentative. It's too patient. She waits. She's too much of a counter striker. And this is a Mexican event. People are here to swing and bang, stand forward, and get the job done. Her final appeal on that statement was ultimately just saying, hey, it's going to be really hard to win fights with that kind of style. Now, AJ, we've seen Shevchenko win a ridiculous amount of fights. So it's like kind of like not true, right? But on the other hand, it is a good point, especially with the renewed scoring system that we have that favors damage above all else. I want to know what your thoughts are on Grasso's statement there.
I think it's a little bit of a stretch, Derek. I think it's a little overreaching because, like you said, we've seen Shevchenko not really change up her style, evolve it a little bit, evolve it in certain ways, tweak it, polish it. But I agree with Grasso, what she's saying, right? Shevchenko is much more of that stay firm Muay Thai style. We're going to sit there. I'm going to counter strike. I'm going to find these ways, and then I can shoot for a takedown, get the control going. I do still see that as a very valuable or very tactical way to fight, especially getting into the older ages. As much as you're going in saying, hey, man, we're going to go La Raza style. We're swinging and banging right 2 feet in the tire. That works 20% of the time. You're not always on the winning side of those fights, right? And you are more also on the winning side of the fights when you fight like Shevchenko. I'm interested to see if that's a little more of a goading action coming from the Grasso camp, because she's not necessarily one to just bite down on the mouthpiece, sit there regardless of the damage that's coming back at her. Grasso can do that, but she's a little more elusive, a little more tactical than that. So I think she's going to try to set up a trap in that kind of style of fight.
You know, man, it's all banter, right? It's all just kind of like gamesmanship, getting in each other's head and whatnot. But I do think that there is something to that, because if Grasso could walk forward and she could pop out that jab and she could just land a little bit more of thudding shots, we're seeing one thing that is very apparent in these close fights, at least the ones that are going to decision here, is that it's really a matter of moments within the fight. It's like micro moments within the fight that are causing whatever happened in 5 minutes, like 30 seconds to determine that entire 5 minutes right there. For an example, Grasso knocks down Shevchenko. Shevchenko back rolls, get back up. Oh, crazy knockdown. But like, was it really? Like, you did knock her down. You got the knockdown, right? But was it a fight finishing sequence? And I didn't see it in any of the fights. I've not seen any real fight finishing sequences aside from the actual choke that she was able to get because of the curse of women's MMA, which is that head and arm toss that just gets them backfired, all the time. But that's neither here nor there. Really, grappling is going to be the X factor in this matchup, man. And I don't see it any other way. If Shevchenko cannot force the grappling on Alexa Grasso, because I don't think Grasso is going to try to really grapple too much, specifically with Shevchenko. If she cannot force her grappling, man, I just have a hard time seeing her win this fight based on how the two other fights have gone. Do you agree, or do you think that it's a little more complex than that?
No, I agree with you, Derek. The main path, right? The plan of attack for Shevchenko is going to be get this fight to where you can control it, whether that's on the cage, in the clinch, on the ground, whatever the case is. As long as you're not letting Alexa Grasso lead the dance, I think Shevchenko can have some success here.
All right, well, let's see if it comes to fruition. Now, when we talk about the actual numbers right here, again, we're going to take a look at that over score, and I want your opinion on that one right here. Over for the fight, again, 4.5 rounds, minus 170 for the over, plus 140 for the under. Went to decision in the last one. The one before that probably would have went to a decision if it weren't for that choke, but what's your thought? What's your final take on this one?
I like the over, Derek. That's what I'm rocking with. I do think this fight, whoever wins it will go to a decision. If there's a robbery, by all means, then I guess third time's a charm, whatever the case. But I do think this one, I'm taking the over 4.5. I like that minus 170 odd.
I really like that minus 170, and we'll come back to that one in a moment. So if we like the over right here, then the logical choice is clearly making a determination. Of course, we're both on Grasso at minus, what was the number that I gave? Like minus 130 or something like that? Let me pull it up. It was minus 140 for Alexa Grasso, right? Are you content with that number? Is that price fair for you to pay to throw in a couple different units on Alexa Grasso here?
It is, Derek. It is fair, and especially if Alexa Grasso is able to get this third win on Shevchenko, I don't think we're going to see her at anything close to these odds again, at least in
So
the near future.
plus 175. We're not taking it for the decision prop.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I thought you're talking mainly for the prop or for the money line, right? Minus 140 makes sense to me, but all day long, folks. Like I said, I think this fight's going to decision. Obviously, I'm taking Grasso. I like that plus 175 all day.
And then arguments back in favor of Shevchenko. I'm not really seeing a TKO setup right here or a submission. If you're going to go with Shevchenko, you're going pure money line on a dog play. Again, she's currently listed at plus 120 for Shevchenko. I imagine it's probably going to creep a little bit further in favor of Grasso come fight night. So definitely get in early if you can get in. So the pick right here, Bloody Water Podcast consensus, and still Alexa Grasso. And you know it pains me to say that as a lifetime Bullet fan right here. So I'll just say that one.